can you imagine a god telling lies just to win an argument?
Yeah, but as I told you again, this is not living at human level. This is not a simple game of I lied to you.
And do you know what it tells you when two gods are competing for superiority? Like in this case, in the story of Vishnu and Brahma, because they were basically arguing with each other who is more powerful, who is more supreme.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is only possible in polytheistic religions like Hinduism.
Yes, definitely.
Yes? And do you not see the problem in this? Right. What's on your mind today, Prasan?
Yeah. So basically, so last couple of times I was here, but we couldn't go forward with my talks because we were talking earlier about the acts of the deities, the gods, what you say, and whether they are moral or immoral. That's what we were discussing earlier. And right. So so to begin with, the acts of the deities, they cannot be just to be moral or immoral because they are done with there's a certain intention that they have, and they are not these acts are not at human level. So therefore these acts are not how do you say, the intention behind the act is not driven by lust or greed or those kind of things. The deities are driven by higher causes, and that's how you have to judge them. You don't have to emulate these deities. You don't emulate these devatas, but you learn from the story, the inherent story, as to
what do you learn. What do you learn from such immorality? Even though from their point of view, you're saying it's not immoral, but as far as humans are concerned, these particular stories, you call them leelas or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
The whole idea is that this information is for human beings. Am I right? It's not for the gods.
Yes.
So what do the human beings learn from these actions of the gods, which a human will interpret as immoral?
The deities. We'll say deity because gods is a.
What is a human going to learn from such immoral stories?
Yeah. So these stories are aimed at showing cause and effect relation of the universe, of the forces of nature. And as you know, not all forces of nature act in our favor. Many forces of nature act unfavorably to us. So these stories show the complex relationship between these forces of nature, and not that.
What do the humans learn? That's the question.
So
regardless of complex or simplicity, the question is there a moral story from this immoral story?
There is a moral story, but not in the same sense as, let's say, we don't emulate these deities in the same way.
What about emulating them? What is the lesson we learn? That's a question.
So to begin with, these lessons have to be just mugged up. Okay, these stories, you just learn them just the way when your kid goes to a school, he learns A, B, C, D without knowing what it means, right? Once you start knowing what
does have a purpose. Yeah. What is the purpose of an immoral story in a religious book? That's a question. Yeah.
Right. So these letters, for example, while you're learning them, they don't make any sense to you, right? If you ask a 3 or 4-year-old kid, he just knows those letters and he doesn't know how to form words with those. But as you grow older, you start making words with those, and those you start using it for language. Similarly, these stories, they are meant to bring in a certain understanding of the world to you. And once you have basic understanding, then you can start debating those. And so once certain stories start appealing to you more, let's say I become a Vaishnavite or a Shaivite, then I can start debating upon the morality or the immorality also. And therefore I can say, okay, fine, this appeals to me better and that appeals to me better. That's how it works. It does not work, you don't.
That doesn't answer the question at all. What did you learn from the story? That's the question.
Yeah, so there are these are pre-creation stories, right? These stories are not in our human.
What do you? What is the moral lesson for a human being? Come on, Prasan, you understand?
Answer the question. There's not always a moral. No, there's always not a moral lesson.
So there is no moral story behind this.
There's not always a moral lesson. There are multiple things. There's complex cause and cause.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I'm looking
for. So, for example,
when you have such immoral stories in a religious book, then unless and until you can tell me that okay, this is what justifies the story in my holy book.
Yeah, for example, if you look at the Brahma and the story Saraswati. Of the Brahma, Saraswati, not really Saraswati, but yeah. So now there's some people would say, Brahma was lusting after her own daughter, okay? But Brahma was not lusting after her own daughter because
his creation. Let's say his creation.
Yeah, right. Because
he was lusting after his creation.
Right. So this explains.
What do you learn from that?
Yeah, right. So this explains a certain complex philosophy behind creation, because for creation to happen, you can have things. I mean, if you need something to create out of itself, let's say creation has to happen, and something has to come out of nothing. So these stories explain those kind of complex
Bro,
phenomena.
stop saying complex, simple. Just tell me what you learned from these stories, bro. Just tell me that.
Yeah. So
You're waffling. You're not answering the question.
That's what I'm saying. These things are explaining to you complex cause and effect relations between in the world.
What
and then
do you learn? Even if it's cause and effect, tell me what is a moral story. What is the lesson you get from this?
That's what I'm saying. These are not something that we'll pick up in a day or something. These have
okay, so you don't know. Just say you don't know.
No. I mean, see, I can, but then I can go on for
Because
lecture
I've
for 2
asked
hours.
you this several times. Until now,
If I
you
go for a
haven't
3-hour
answered.
lecture.
What?
See,
No, it's not a lecture. I just want a simple answer to the question which I'm asking. What is the moral lesson a Hindu takes
not
from
always
such
a moral
immoral
lesson.
stories in their holy books, in their religious books?
There's not always a moral lesson. The lesson is also about the cause and effect scenario that we live in. Okay,
so what is the cause and effect between Brahma and his creation Saraswati?
Right, exactly.
So we
have
after.
So it's a
what is
creation story.
What is the cause and effect? Go on, tell me.
Yeah, so here we are saying, here we are seeing how something, if it comes out of nothing, right? When you say something comes out of nothing, how Brahma created Saraswati from within, right? Without a female counterpart, he created Saraswati, right?
Yeah.
So that's again a complex philosophy that has been explained as to how creation can happen. And as you
we
all
are
know,
not questioning the creation, we are questioning the lusting part. Why did he lust after her?
Yeah, so there are. I mean, see, the lust is shown as to humanize the thing, to anthropomorphize the deity. We have used lust and those kind of things, but it's not the same lust as you and I would feel, right? It's a different kind of thing. I mean, at a divine level, these things have a different interpretation, and they have a different.
Go on, interpret to me the divine lust. Go on. I'm willing to listen.
Now, of course, I mean, we can sit and.
Bro, you're digging yourself in a hole. Do you realize that?
No. We can.
When you talk about humans lusting, that is acceptable because they have that innate nature. Yes.
Right.
Yes, to be attracted to the opposite sex. But when you say the divine is lusting, now I'm all ears now.
But the divine lust would not be the same as your and my lust, right? And also, the divine lust would be guided by much higher.
It's not the same. I agree. So that's why I'm asking you, what do you understand by it?
Now these are long stories. These are not something that like I can.
I got the time. Don't worry, bro. Go on.
Okay, fine. I mean, earlier you would accuse me of jalebis, and also.
Don't make jalebis, but answer the question straight rather than.
So there is the Brahma Airavati story, and then there is the Shiv Stam story, about the Shakti Stam story, or these kind of stories, which are primordial Christian stories. Also the story about the serpent. The Samudra Manthan story, where the serpent is used as a churning of the cosmic ocean. So these are stories which are primordial creation stories. These are not it's set in human time.
I'm still waiting for the reason these lust or this sexual desires of the gods are taking place in the first place.
So okay, fine. So when you personify a certain force as a human being, right? You will have to explain him in human terms. You cannot explain him in non-human.
Can you explain it without the lust part?
No, I mean, if it had been, then they wouldn't have used those kind of stories, right? Those stories are there because there was
the question is this:
there was no other.
all the gods who lusted after the mortals.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm asking you: is it possible?
For example, if you look at the
listen to what I'm saying. Is it possible for you to narrate the same story without the sex part, without the lust
part? So there are versions. That is why we have versions of.
So which version is true then?
So all of them are according to your understanding, according to level of understanding. You would take up that kind of a explanation, right? After all of these are none of them are in physical terms, right? They are not really physical beings that we are talking about. We are not talking about historical events. We are talking about.
Do these beings exist?
I mean, exist, you mean to say in physical terms? No, they are of a different loca.
Regardless of physical or metaphysical, do they exist?
Yeah, they exist in a different loca. They do within like these
even
stories
in
are happening.
Dimension. I don't care.
So,
if they exist in a different dimension, even the question still remains: did the actual lust take place between these two
so
beings?
if in a different dimension or whatever, the lust or whatever emotion you're talking about, it would be of a different kind, right? It would not be of a.
It's still lust,
Of the,
right? Doesn't matter what degree it is. It's still lust. Am I
well,
right?
fine, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, right.
do the gods in Hinduism, do they actually have sexual desires? I'm not saying like human beings, maybe more powerful,
Right.
maybe worse. Yeah. Do they
Maybe
have sexual desires
the motivation,
which they
the motivation,
fulfill in that divine realm?
the motivation would be of a higher level. The motivation would be
I'm
not
not
based
asking
like
you what motivates them. Do they have
like
the desire
like
to
you when
lust
you
or
and I,
not?
if you and I think of lust, right? We think of a very base kind of thing. For us, it's a negative thing. For them, it's a highly, it's a much more potent thing, and that leads to creation of the world, right? That's how things are born, right? Like
Hold on.
yeah.
Things are born
What
out
do
of
you
a
mean that
lot.
leads to the creation of the world?
Yeah, dude, come on, man. You're
So, okay,
losing
so
me
how was it
now.
born?
Are you
How
saying
okay.
Brahma had to have sex with his creation in order to create the
He did not. Hold on,
the rest of
He
humanity?
he did not. That's not how things are created in us.
That's what you said. In order to create the world.
Right. So these
Those were
no,
your words.
no, I said the primordial stories of Samudra Manthan or Shakti Stambh or Brahma after Iravati. These are the primordial stories
Okay.
that we're talking about.
Do you consider that to be something which is Adharmic?
No, that's what I'm saying. These cannot be judged in our terms. These are not these people are not motivated by lust or greed in the same way as we are.
Then why did Shiva cut off his head, Brahma's head, for lusting after Saraswati?
No, this is the whole thing. I mean,
This is the whole thing. You're right. If it wasn't Adharmic, why did he demote him from being worshipped after cutting off his head?
So yeah, because the creation is over, right? So we have a story to explain why we do not worship the
Creation
creator.
is over, off with his
Creation
head.
is done.
We don't
Creation
need
is
you
done.
anymore.
We don't worship because we can only worship a deity
Oh,
for. You can only.
the Puranas actually say the reason Shiva cut off his head is because he lusted after Saraswati.
That is one story. There's another story. There's another
It doesn't say because the creation is over.
in the Shakti Stam story, he cuts off his head because he lied to Shiva as to that he had found his origin.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
that is another version.
Exactly.
But that is also adharma. Lying is also adharma.
So,
lusting is also adharma. In both cases is adharmic action of Brahma, which basically, the Shiva decapitated him.
So what I'm saying is when these of course, I mean the morality and those kind of things is of a different level that we can talk about over here. But the thing is,
the morality is at a further debased level for the gods if they're doing it.
Not a debased level. See, the morality is.
That's the reason Shiva cuts his head off.
He cuts his head off because they would. I mean, their play would be of a much. They wouldn't be such a simple. Simple game like ours. Like I get angry with you, I kill you. It's not that simple for them.
No, it wasn't because he got angry with him for something other than the adharma that he actually implemented himself.
No.
So because of Brahma's adharmic actions, Shiva cut off his head. I mean, you can't put it any more simpler than that.
It's not. I mean, see, we don't really say adharma because of the. I mean, dharma and dharma. We are using those words too loosely, because dharma is something much different. Because these people were doing the dharma as they were.
So why did Shiva cut off his head then, if it's not adharma? What is the reason?
So he cuts off his head because he, as per him, he has lied to him by saying that he has found his origin. That's what.
Is lying adharma?
Depends on the scenario, right? Dharma is right.
In this scenario, is lying adharma.
In this scenario, I mean, see, this is again, we're trying to portray them as weak personalities and all.
I'm asking you from your own book, why did he cut off his head if it was his head?
Sorry?
Why did Shiva cut off Brahma's head if it was not adharmic?
Yeah, because I mean, because he lied to him that he has found his origin, right?
So lying is adharma, right?
It's not
in this context.
Okay, so Shiva is okay. Hold on, Shiva.
You're thinking on the job, bro. I thought you had it in your scriptures. The fact that you're actually making up reason.
No, hold on.
Means you haven't read the books.
I cannot have everything on my go. I mean, I have to refer back to
look,
right?
unless you either have Brahma being adharmic or you have Shiva being unjust for cutting off his head.
Yeah.
Either
So I mean,
way,
of course,
it's a lose-lose for you. It's a
I mean, see, the thing
catch-22.
is, okay, right. See, there are many stories. Every story I cannot have at the tip of my tongue. I mean, it's not possible. But I do, whenever there's a story, I try to refer back to it and get back to it as and when you say. So if you specifically want to talk about these Puranas, then on a certain specific day I can bring up a certain Purana, and then we can debate on that. We can
I think
debate on
the
that.
story. You don't need to bring the books. You know the story.
I know the story, but I mean,
I'm not asking you for every detail within the story.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm asking you is the overall understanding that we get is
the
that
overall understanding
Brahma was actually demoted from a god.
We have tried to explain.
Do you know Brahma is not worshipped today?
Yeah, we have tried to explain why the creator is not worshipped. That's
exactly, yeah. For me, the creator is one of the most important thing because he created everything, including you. Yeah.
Yeah, the creation aspect, yes.
Yes, so if he created you, and then you're saying he has been demoted from a god to someone who's not to be worshipped by Shiva.
You also have to understand in the Hindu way of things, when we worship a certain deity, whatever we pray, we can get only that. So if we pray for Vishnu, we can only get the preservation aspect, or if we pray to Shiva, we can only get the
Can you pray to Brahma?
So we cannot pray to Brahma because creation cannot happen unless destruction is done, right?
Why you can't pray to Brahma?
Because there are certain temples to him, but the thing is, you cannot.
It's because of the same reason.
As per Shastras,
because of his Adharmic actions, Shiva demoted him. He cursed him never to be worshipped again. Am I right?
But why would you not pray to Brahma? Why would you not?
Because he's been demoted from a god to.
But what is the justification for not praying to Brahma?
I just told you. Because of these Adharmic actions.
Yeah, these are stories which tell you that it was an Adharmic action. But what is
it's up to you to believe it or not.
No.
I'm saying this is the reason the Puranas give why Brahma is not worshipped.
So these are the reasons
given. Because of his Adharmic actions, because of his sins.
Yeah, but why would you not?
Of lusting, of basically.
But why would you? Why would you
imagine a god telling lies just to win an argument?
Yeah, but as I told you again, this is not living at human level. This is not a simple game of I lied to you.
And do you know what it tells you when two gods are competing for superiority, like in this case, in the story of Vishnu and Brahma, because they were basically arguing with each other who is more powerful, who's more supreme.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is only possible in polytheistic religions like Hinduism.
Yes, definitely.
Yes? And do you not see the problem in this? Gods fighting?
Hold on. Do you believe these different deities represent different forces of nature? Do you believe so? I believe so.
Yeah,
do you believe
that still doesn't answer my question though.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Do
even if they have different roles, even if they have different roles, the question still remains. Why are the gods fighting for superiority? The reason is because of polytheism.
Hold on.
In monotheism, this problem doesn't arise.
Hold on. Are the various forces of nature at play with each other and they're often suppressing each other?
I just told you that. Even with different roles, the problem still exists in polytheism.
No. The various forces of nature, all of them, are they exactly equal all the time?
I never said they are. By the way,
no, they're not.
Do you think gods are just forces of nature? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Gods are forces of nature. These are different forces of nature which are present.
Give me a force of nature that represents God.
Every force, like wealth, is a force of nature. So it's like Lakshmi.
Let me give you an example. Take a force of nature like the tsunami. What does it represent?
Yeah, so the tsunami would be let's say ideally it's a water based. So Varun is the representation of Varun on a very gross level. Varun, water. But that's again a very gross representation that you're talking about. I'm talking about even
which forces of nature are you talking about? Because as far as I know, all of this is a creation of God.
These are various forces of nature which are interplay with each other, right? Okay, so let's say
are the forces of nature creations of God or not?
What?
Or are they God themselves?
If you want to explain Brahma, that's one.
No, I'm talking about all forces of nature, right? Not just
now. In order to experience the universe, you'll have to experience duality, right? When you start experiencing duality, you'll experience various forces of nature at play with each other. There is no just you and God. It cannot be that simple.
No,
there has to be
multiple. I don't think you understood the question I'm asking. My question is, these forces of nature which you're talking about, are they creations of God, or are they gods themselves?
See, first of all, gods, do you mean Devatas?
You can take Ishwar, Devta,
I would say they
Avatar,
are
whatever you
Devtas.
want to call it.
No, hold on.
All the
They're
categories
not
of gods
no,
in Hinduism. Go on.
they're not even
I
avatars.
give you all of them.
No. These forces of nature are not even avatars. They are Devatas. Okay, Devatas, deities.
Yes, like I said,
Right.
all the gods you can
Now,
have them.
Right.
No
So
problem.
in fact, we're not even talking about avatar level yet. We're talking about Devatas and the primordial creation scenario.
Yeah.
Now these forces of nature are at play with each other, right? That's how everything is created.
Okay.
Like the heat and gravity and time and various forces are at play with each other, and that's how things
No,
are.
but
And
I'm talking about even above that. For example, the Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
Do they represent the forces of nature, or do they don't?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so which force of nature does Vishnu represent?
All the preservation forces.
Like, give me an example.
So now that's the thing is when you are getting at unless you go down a bit further, unless you branch down further to more specific factors, like
give me the specific force of
right.
nature
So for
that
example,
Vishnu represents. Go on.
like for example, Indra represents rainfall, right? Indra represents rain. So that's why I'm going
I'm
down.
not asking about Indra. My question, every time I ask you a specific question, you go somewhere else. Give me a force of nature that Vishnu represents.
Okay, hold on. We'll go slowly.
And if you don't know, just say I don't know, rather than
we'll go slowly. We'll go slowly.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now we'll go slowly. So let's say Vishnu is representing the preservative aspect of nature.
Yeah,
right?
Which specific nature is that?
So all the order has to get. So things have to go in order. Things have to go in time wise. The sunrise has to be exactly in time. This thing, right? When we say Shiva is the destructive aspect of nature, right? So these are times when there is how do you call it, unpredictability and the unknown aspects that come up. So the in unpredictable aspects that come up. Therefore, Shiva is represented as
Brahma.
So Brahma, creation is done, right? Creation is done. Creation is over. So you cannot really pray for creation. Can you pray for creation?
What about the creation of the next? What about the creation of the next generation? Does Brahma play
so
role
for that first Shiva has to come into action and destroy the universe, and only then
I'm not talking about the destruction. I'm talking about the next cycle.
Yeah, for that the Shiva has to come into effect and destroy the universe, right? There has to be
pralaya. No, after the destruction, there's again rebirth, right? For the
Brahma will create that, right?
Yeah, so his job is not over yet.
And Brahma does that
anyway,
out of his.
I think we have.
Brahma does that out of his own will.
We have actually.
I feel like I'm in a Harry Potter movie, man. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're literally just telling me that's one of the coolest stories, and I'm waiting for like the intro.
We still haven't found out why the immoral stories are in the Hindu
so I'm coming to it. So now I'm coming to it. Now Brahma has to
to know all this detail and to like
it was unnecessary. All this detail was unnecessary.
Prasoon, bro, and I mean this with all due respect, dude, but you remind me of someone who knows a lot about nothing, dude. Like it's literally crazy, man.
That's speciality, specialization. The more and more you know about something, you knowing more and more, but less and less. So
if somebody knows a lot, they should be able to organize their thoughts. You seem to fail every time you come here. You make a lot of jalebis when I ask you straightforward questions.
Okay, fine. So I'm trying to answer you straight away right now. Right now, if you give me some time, I'll answer you straight away.
Okay, which question are you going to answer now?
Okay, so let's say Brahma. The first question was why did Brahma have lust, right? That was the question, right?
Yeah, my question was what is the moral lessons you learn from the immoral stories in Hindu scriptures?
Right. So no, hold on. Morally immoral, we won't say. We'll seemingly immoral.
Because I, as a human, I can understand and see and also know that there is morality and there is immorality.
There's a morality, of course, but not at their level. I mean, for us, we have to be.
Once again, whom are the scriptures for? Is it for the gods or for the human?
These are to explain. These are for human beings to explain.
Thank you. If they are for human beings, then I expect you to answer from a human perspective. Don't answer from the God's perspective.
Yeah,
because
unlike
the gods, as far as I'm concerned, the Hindu gods have already indulged in the immorality. Now you tell me as a human being what moral lessons you learn from it. By the way, this is a last chance I'm giving you, Prasoon, because I've asked you the same question several times.
Okay, fine. I'm coming.
If I don't get an answer, I'm going to bring someone answer.
Please. So okay, here we go. So the thing is, the question was, Vishnu is a preservative forces, Shiva is a destroy forces, and that's why we pray to these people, right? Once this is over, Brahma has to create again, right?
That wasn't my
Brahma
question.
has to create again. Since nobody prays to Brahma.
You're doing it again.
Brahma
my question is not about creation or preservation or destruction. My question is about the morality and immorality from a human perspective when they read the Hindu scriptures, which consists of immorality.
Yes, so Brahma has to do it all again, and therefore he has to do it out of his own will. He has to have certain lust or whatever what you're calling it. He has to come from himself.
Okay, Prasan,
and that's how
he'll
do the creation.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.